Here we are for day 20.
Day 20, welcome back. Super excited.
Tell us, Jared.
GMO.
GMOs. What is a GMO?
GMO, genetically modified organism.
So what is that and where do you find them?
Maybe a better question is where we don't find them these days. So again, the book explains beautifully, breaks it down. We continue to say this like a broken record, but definitely read and check that out. But basically, here's one example. So a lot of the food that are on the shelves of supermarkets, those plants have been modified genetically in a lab. They are able to live even though certain chemicals are sprayed on them. Okay, so they're a little more resistant, or a lot more resistant to pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, these chemicals, whereas a natural, organic, not modified organism with a little bit of those chemicals, they die. So they're more resistant. So that's what we're talking about. They're modified to, that's just one of the
and I think is the main one. It's just one example, but I think is one of the most important ones. Is that why in the heck are we eating plants that can be resistant to pesticides and chemicals that we are eating? Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The most common foods, the GMO foods that you're gonna find everywhere, it's wheat,
bread. Here we go again. Fun hater. There goes my bread. Now you tell me I can't eat bread.
Again.
The four horsemen, you're like fun hater.
Yes.
Hashtag fun hater.
I don't, at this point, really, I'm gonna say it again. What can I say?
Okay. So we got, again, this ties directly back to the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yes.
So we're talking about wheat. So a lot of the flours, your breads, your sweets, your cookies, all these cakes and all these things.
Corn, of course.
Corn. Okay.
Corn and soy.
Soy.
So just to put those three as a really huge example. And it's not that we are eating those products. Is that also those pesticide-filled wheat, corn, soy are being fed to farm animals.
So your beef, your poultry, your pork,
all of them are eating the same thing. No wonder they get sick so often. However, what happens also is that the concentration of chemicals increases because it goes from one living being to another living being to another living being. So eating is the food chain. So deeper you go into the food chain, more toxic concentration they have. Okay, so imagine that you're eating eggs from a chicken that has been eating GMO grains filled with pesticides. So maybe you have your own chickens pasture raised or grass-fed, plus you supplement them with GMO seeds and food. So they're highly, highly toxic. Their eggs are going to be toxic as well.
And here's the thing, I'm reading this from the book again. So
just to add, the GMO topic also links with what we said at the very beginning. Soil depletion is extreme because of the way food has been grown in the last few years of our human history. It is completely entangled and related. Now we're seeing the consequences in our generation and previous generations, the negative effects this has on health for us and for the animals, especially farm animals, environment, water pollution, soil pollution, soil depletion, lack of nutrients. Here we go again. So it's all entangled, all intertwined.
A bunch of more paper cuts. But again, do your own research. Look into it, see what you find, and whole idea, again, it's not to tell you exactly what you want to do. It's sharing some very interesting topics that have come up in this book, and now you, with this information, can start to make informed decisions.
Look for
whatever that may be. Whatever that may be, it's your choice, and so, all right, there we go.
Solution.
Look
for organic. Yeah. As much as possible organic. It's not meant to be GMO, so look for the original seeds. Not many, but still alive in this stage.
And the process can be fun. It's like, oh, Jared, Lau, you guys are crazy. I don't have time. I've got all these things going on. I mean, perfect. Or you could say, you don't not have time for this because this is your health. Like, you have a million things to do until you have a disease. And then you have one thing that to focus on, right, is your health. So yeah, this whole process can be interesting. Again, we talked about earlier, finding local sources, people there. It's really easy to find people that are growing and producing food
Organically.
the cleanest way possible. And do your own test. Do a week or a couple weeks with, these chemicals and things, and maybe you feel great. Do a couple weeks without and see how it goes, and do your own research.
And also, it's not just about your health, it's about your family's health. So this is not just about you. Probably most people here, most moms in this group or grandmothers, think about your family as well, because they will have also the positive effects of your lifestyle changes.
It's an interesting point too that you say that, the health of the planet as well. Where I grew up, there's a lot of farms. And now, like when I go back and I talk to people, like, hey, these lakes that we used to swim in and rivers, now when I go back, they're like, yeah, you don't want to swim in there. They're so contaminated and polluted now. Like, really? Like, yeah, there's tons of chemicals. And these are locals that live, and even some of the same farmers. Like, yeah, there's so many chemical runoff into this water. You don't want to swim in that. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So again, some things to also bring awareness to. If you have to, do your research.
We always have to.
All right.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you. And see you tomorrow. Day 21.
Day 21.
Day 21. We're going to talk a little bit about medicine and the medical industry.
Oh, don't get me started. No.
All right.
Thank you.
Ciao for now.
Bye.